Hello, howdy, it's Francis back with a new video. And in this episode we are gonna focus on the electrical system of this steampunk-style clock. In the previous episode we built the stand for the digits and the whole assembly, and in this video we're gonna populate it with the electrical setup. If you haven't seen the previous video, after this video make sure to check it out. So let's get started. So his first order of business is to make place for these four 8-bit shift registers which will power the digits, and this is an SN24 HC595 I believe. I will make a video on this on the chip chat explaining in detail how these work, but in this video we are just gonna implement them. To implement this I'm thinking of something like a binding post that goes around from like horizontal, and for a negative and a positive rail these should be separated and they should hold the whole chip setup and all the components that are related to giving power to these chips. And here it goes. This is one of the binding posts. This will be the positive rail, and we're gonna have a negative rail down under. Yeah, a few minutes may pass from the last cut, but I've soldered on the first 8-bit shift register, and this is what I imagined. So it will be soldered like this on the positive side to this binding post, and all the output pins to the segments. So yeah, I have almost all of them soldered on, but the last one is still missing, so one digit to go. I have to admit my soldering does not look beautiful here. It's a little bit all over the place, but that's what we have here. This is a point-to-point soldering thingamabob project, so that's what we have here. It would be much better if I would do it on a PCB or a proof board or something, but that's what we have here. Thick copper wire, and we have to solder point to point. 1000 years later. Okay, I have this braided beautiful USB cable I would like to power this whole clock contraption with, and I'm gonna drill a hole to the back and the top of this wood platform, and I'm gonna take the wire through, and that's the idea. Yeah, I have soldered all the four ICs onto rails, and we have caps over the input, power and ground pins. It's a couple of capacitors worth like 100 nanofarad or something. I just eyeballed it. It doesn't have to be that punctual. You can better see like this. Yeah, this all disc ceramic capacitors. If you use ICs that you want to switch frequently, I always recommend to use some bypass caps, and that will stabilize the IC. I don't switch this very quickly, it's like 100 Hz maximum, but it's better be safe than sorry. Alright, yes, the USB cable is on, and I want to wire up two buttons to set the time. One will increment the hours and one will increment the minutes, and that's how we can set the clock. Yes, now we have the power cable and all of the 8-bit shift registers soldered onto place, and it all works just fine. I tested it within Arduino. And now we will proceed with the heart of the operation. It's this ATmega 328 PU microcontroller. This will power the whole thing, and I will connect an RTCM to it. I have already burned the bootloader onto it and also the code, and it's tested. So only the soldering is remaining, so stay tuned to see if it works. Ready to ride. Okay, it seems like it's working so far. Let's just solder these wires on. This will lead to the RTCM in the future, so yes, this is pretty important. Oh, how I hate to solder in like three-dimensional tight spaces. It's killing me. I would say it's better to solder a whole board of SMD components than doing this. I swear it is. It's just, you always bump into something, you burn the plastic, you burn the, I don't know, components, because everything is very sensitive here. I hate point-point soldering, but nonetheless it looks good, at least for this project. I just quickly connect the RTCM so I can see if the clock is working as intended. I will desolder it later and put it into a nice box. You will see that. I just do it for test's sake. So it's all done. This is how it is, at least from above. It looks fine, innit? So let's construct the box for the RTCM and then I will show you how I test it. This is the little plastic box I printed on my 3D printer with PLA. And this will hold the buttons and the RTCM as well. If you're wondering what kind of RTC I'm using, this is the DF3231 OG highly precise clock module. And on the board there is an AT24332 EEPROM, and I can access the whole thing with I2C protocol, so it's pretty easy to use and I don't have to do anything, even we have the battery included, so it's very easy to build in, very easy to use. I don't have to play around connecting my own EEPROM to this and finding a protocol that works with it or blah blah blah. This is working out of the box. I don't have to do anything. At this step, you know the drill if you've seen my previous video on building the mechanical side of the clock. I will paint this box, this beautiful metallic silver paint. I like this paint very much because it looks like real metal. So I have a very good pick with this. So yes, the box is built and painted, and I glued down with super glue, and there is the button with the little PCB on the top. And it's all good, so let's check if it works. Let's check it from the front. I hope you see how it is. Not gonna lie, this turned out pretty good. I really like this outcome. It looks like it come from some post-apocalyptic movie or like from the Second World War era. It's pretty messy and it helps, and also it's pretty like steampunkish with this copper wire everywhere. Alright, I plugged her in and it looks very beautiful. Yeah, I have one regret. The contrast on the LED diodes and this 3D structure is not very good. It's much better in person. The video does not do justice for this, but it's visible. It's 1835 if you're wondering what's on the screen. Yeah, it's readable. If I would do a version 2 of this, maybe I would do something like a black backplane, which would help with the contrast, and maybe 2 LEDs per segment, that would also help. Yeah, there's a couple things that I could do different if I would start it over. Thanks so much for watching, don't forget to subscribe. Francis signs out.